Welcome to part 2 of your course, Basic Word Order in English. In the first course, we've seen that a typical sentence should consist of a subject, a verb, an object. In scientific writing, we should write short and simple sentences. Simple sentences mean that they respect a logical order or a basic order. A simple sentence is a group of words expressing a complete thought, and it must have a subject and a verb. A verb shows action or state of being. The subject tells who or what about the verb. English has a strict order in which words can appear in a sentence. The order is subject plus verb plus direct object plus indirect object. Keep them as close as possible to each other. This order is rarely altered. To write simple and correct sentences, we've seen that we should keep the subject and the verb as close as possible. To do that, avoid inserting parenthetical information between the subject and the verb. If you insert more than a couple of words between the subject and the verb, this will interrupt the reader's train of thought. It does mean that the reader looks for the verb directly after the subject. Therefore, do not insert or put words between the subject and the verb. The verb should come after the subject. Why? When you put words between the subject and the verb, the readers will consider this parenthetical information to be of less importance and tend to neglect it. Look at this example. The result, after the calculation has been made, can be used to determine why. In this first sentence, the subject is the result. The verb can be used. There are some words between the subject and the verb. It's a mistake that convert the sentence to so hard and difficult to be read and understood. Now, let's see the second sentence. After the calculation has been made, the result can be used to determine why. This sentence is correct and easy to read and to be understood. Why? Because the subject and the verb are not separated. The basic order is respected. Do the same when you are writing your article. Remember, do not insert words between the subject and the verb. Rule 02, don't separate the verb from its direct object. When a verb is followed by two possible objects, place the direct object, that is the thing given or received, before the indirect object, the thing it is given to or received by. Look at example 01. We can separate, with this tool, P and Q. In this sentence, the verb is can separate. Can separate what? P and Q. Therefore, P and Q is the direct object. The correct sentence should put the direct object after the verb. Hence, the correct sentence is we can separate P and Q with this tool. Now, look at example 02. We can associate with these values a high cost. Similarly, the direct object, a high cost, is separated from the verb. Is it a mistake or not? Yes, it is. Remember that the direct object should come after the verb, directly. The correct sentence is we can associate a high cost with these values. Don't put the indirect object, in red, at the beginning of the sentence or main clause. This is not the usual word order in English. In example 01. Nevertheless, in some populations, this disease is diagnosed too late. These cases are called. The basic sentence is this disease is diagnosed too late. In some populations is placed at the beginning of the basic sentence. It is a mistake. Do not put the indirect object at the beginning of the sentence. The correct sentence is nevertheless, this disease is diagnosed too late in some populations, which are called. With these simple rules, you can now write simple, short and correct sentences. The basic word order is the secret of good academic writing. Remember: subject, verb, direct object, indirect object. Good writing, dear friends,